Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the divisional round playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
What? 20! 22 the mic. Hey, keep it up.
They go play action here on first down. That's complete to DK Metcalf. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but it's going to be second down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And this is a unit that has to feel good about itself. Got the win last week in the wild card round, and oftentimes we say you want to get the open week and get some rest. But many times we see the upsets happen with a team that won the week before and has momentum on its side.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
We had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what was fun to me was hear him say, I like what we did, but we need more pressure on the quarterback this week. What he wouldn't tell us, though, was how he was going to create it. Is it going to be just the front 4? Is it going to be 3? Is he going to bring linebackers, secondary? This will be fun to check out.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
They'll run the screen with Carson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Danielle Hunter. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
57
On 3rd down, Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 1. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week, but you know you can't. So you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
That's good for a first down. Here's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in the playoffs. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Solomon Thomas able to get him for a loss of about 3. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now Saquon Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. A first down carry for Barkley. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it with Carson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Throwing is Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Able to slither by.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Barkley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
That'll be complete to Cook. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, You can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, this one into the hands of Metcalf. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Touchdown, Vikings! He returns the punt 60 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning the special. Teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And he'll take it out to the 25. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And a big reason they've got the... Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Carson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a 1st down on that effort. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll find Metcalf. There he goes, right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 41 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to... set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go, and we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll drop the throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. And now running right through him. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. 2nd down and inches. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. But now it's 3rd down.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful what the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
He'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley. As the first half is winding down, and the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So we've come upon halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown.
Yeah, baby.
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. That's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a 1-score game.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time. But they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Break him down at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one complete to Smith. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 22 yards there, a first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
On first down, Carmichael. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
Point after, right down the middle, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Throwing on 1st down. Carmichael looking downfield for Godwin. It got his man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Chris Godwin, 96 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 19-point game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. Yeah,
and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Carson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Carmichael. Oh, he stays up. Complete. Smith has it. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On the delay, here's Carson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
And TTh3sup3r. Right 54. And watch the leg. Get it.
On 1st and 10, Carmichael. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Hey, seam 6.
Operating from the gun, Carmichael. This will be caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on it?
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Here we go. 30 base. Watch the flag. Hey, wahoo! Now.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
On first down, Carmichael gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Go now. 90 Wolf. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Shoot.
On first down, Barkley. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Saquon Barkley saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now the try here for the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Now they face a... Third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
It's our time.
Here's Wilson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl